what's up YouTube, Webberz05 here, coming at you today just with a brief update of what's been going on with me, because I understand I haven't updated in quite a while, and I do apologise for that, so I just thought I'd just give you the quick update of what I've been up to. But before I get into that, quick shout outs to Oren Hapats and Matt DD, new subscribers. Thanks so much guys, you're the reason my channel's growing stronger. And also guys, before I probably get into the video as well, I want to apologise about the background noise. That's just my air conditioning unit. It's so hot here in the UK right now, so I'm just trying to do what I can to beat the heat. Okay, and on that note, let me just give you just the brief rundown of what I've been up to recently. So guys, as I believe I mentioned over the past few months, with the return since after the pandemic with my locals, I took over judging, so I haven't been recording my matches as much because it's really difficult having to judge and play at the same time. Because it's like if I have to get called for a ruling, then I have to pause the video, and if I get called for multiple rulings, my video just ends up being play for a bit, pause, play for a bit, pause. It's just really difficult to try and concentrate on doing both, so that's why I haven't been recording my matches as much. But for those who already knew about that, let me just get into the more recent stuff. So one of the main things I've been doing recently is I've been checking out the upcoming sets. So Power of the Elements, I know Splites are coming out, so I've been trying to figure out ways to start preparing for that, but I'll get into more of that in a bit. But frankly, in terms of stuff that's coming out in Power of the Elements, I honestly don't really care. There's nothing in there that particularly interests me, but I will check out the TCG imports and exclusives once that list comes out. For the moment, I've been more focused on Darkwing Blast because they've revealed Draco Slayer support, so yeah, I'm really interested in that. I used to play Draco Slayers back in the day, back when it was really good as the Pepe build. God, that was such a fun deck. Memories. So yeah, I've been checking some of that out in the OCG, seeing what a couple of builds are starting to come up with. Checked out some of the new cards. So naturally, I know that each of the new monsters, they're hybrid monsters. They classify as both Draco Slayer and the predecessing archetype that they're based off of, being Ignista, Magispector, and Dynamesh. So I've been starting to pick up cards based around that. And that being said, guys, here's some of the stuff I've been picking up. So something you guys might want to consider picking up, because admittedly, some of these cards are ultra rares as well, so I think closer to the time of Darkwing Blast, if you guys are thinking of playing Draco Slayers, these cards are going to be really good, and they're probably going to spike up in price, so maybe start prepping in advance. So first card was after I spent about 30 minutes at my local, last time I was at my local, searching through commons for this. Dynamesh Charge, naturally because it searches, on activation it searches a Dynamesh, so it searches the new Dynamesh Draco Slayer when that comes out, so that's pretty useful. The other cool thing with Dynamesh Charge in the deck is that if a Dynamesh is added to the extra deck face up, you can add one of them back, and the new one has the effect, if it gets tributed, you can add, you can add one of the monsters. You can add a monster that was tributed. You can add one of your other monsters that was tributed with it back to your hand. So if you've got Dynamesh Charge and the new one, and because naturally the fusion monster is a contact fusion, so you can summon by tributing, you tribute both of them. You do cool effect of this to add the Dynamesh card back to hand, and then the effect of the Dynamesh to add back the other monster. You just got a free fusion monster for free. That was really poorly worded. I'm sorry. You basically got a fusion monster, then you just got your materials back, so you just keep in your advantage, which is really decent. So yeah, that's the second one, which you guys can probably guess. Magispector Raku Bambuku, because naturally on summon, searches a Magispector, and then the Magispector Draco Slayer is pretty useful as well. I read it briefly. I'm pretty sure that's the one that searches the field spell, and then you get your card from your hand, so pretty useful like that. And then the other thing I've seen some builds been playing that is probably worth picking up, Info Noble Arms Duronda. So this spell is for Info Nobles. While it's equipped on a monster, you can use it to rota for a level 5 or lower Fire Warrior, which is essentially the new Ignista Draco Slayer. And that card naturally has its effect of which it can search pretty much any By the way, it only searches a non-pendulum trigger slate. I keep forgetting that part, which is annoying. But still, it's pretty useful. And then pretty sure its destruction but naturally its destruction effect is really good, so you use it and probably Luster. You pop it to search another one, then when it dies, it special summons a trigger slate from the deck, so you just search. So you pop it, so you search it with this, pop it with Luster, search another one, then you use its effect to special summon the Magic Spectre one, get your search, and ditch your card. So, pretty useful like that. So yeah, probably worth picking up. I've seen these are pretty cheap right now, but like I said, guys, I anticipate this might spike close to the time, so maybe have a think about picking them up now. So yeah, that's pretty much. So my current build for Draco Slayers is still work in progress, but I figured out like some of the basics of what I want to start using, so slowly picking bits like that up. And next, guys, the other main thing I've been working on recently is my new tech around with Endymion. So from my last deck profile update, guys, you saw I've moved into the set rotation build, which is still working out quite nicely, but it's just like the field spell engine. And sometimes I kind of want to be testing around with different monsters as well. The engine works for most of my matchups, but there's like a few matchups where I'm like, I really wish I had access to this or this. So one thing I've been testing around with, which I've been seeing at my locals with some of the more competitive guys, I've been testing around with Small World at the moment, seeing what I can do with that. Because the way I see it, guys, is Small World and Endymion, because things like, with the combination of things like Selene, which has the ability to summon any spellcaster in either player's turn. There's lots of good spellcasters in the game which have proactive effects. A lot of them I can very easily search by using Magician's Souls, such as, here's a couple examples of things that I've used in the past that you guys have seen me use. Where is it? So I've used Magician's Souls for things like Gravekeeper Shaman, shutting off the graveyard, also works great in combination with the field spell engine with Necro Valley of completely shutting off the grave. And another one I used was Medium of the Ice Barrier, which is really good for shutting out spells and traps. So, yeah. Naturally, Magician's Souls has been really good for those, but sometimes there's other things that I want to search there's other things I might want to search, like for a while I was thinking of playing Jowgen, but naturally Jowgen's at a level that I can't search with Magician's Souls, but it is capable of being searched with Small World. And then, guys, I actually did do a small bit of testing with Jowgen. I can get the Jowgen's a bit more difficult. I found my problem was making that bridge between it, because it's like, so you guys, you know how Small World works is you reveal a monster in your hand, a monster in your deck, and then you can, that has one thing in common with it. Typically for me, I pick the spellcaster, and then, because I play loads of spellcasters, they have different various attributes and such, so it's not so hard. And then just use the second, and then based off the second one, you get your third thing, which in my case was the Jowgen. It works it's pretty useful in a situation where I know my opponent has to use effects in order to special summon, but if they've just gone for a straight normal summon, tried to do something, my options are basically effect to Selene, summon Jowgen to stop them off that. Then it just kind of forces them into the battle phase, smack over the Jowgen and continue in main phase 2, which isn't so bad, but not completely ideal, so I kind of moved off of that. But I'm just trying to think of some other ideas with it. And one of the things I've been thinking of recently that I want to play again after seeing it being used in Flunderies, I'm like, oh, I used to play this card back in the day and I really want to play it. It's making me want to play it again now, but the issue is I can't search it. And so I thought, you know, with Small I probably could figure out a way to do so. For those who don't know which card I'm talking about, it's everyone's favorite giant negating chicken, Mist Valley Apex Avian. This card was so good back in the days when I was playing Pendulum Magician, because I could just Pendulum summon it out, then it's an Omni Negate on the board. So much fun. But the issue is now, it's just, unless I'm playing 3 of it, it's really difficult to search, and if I'm playing 3 of it, in the past, he's been quite bricky, so it's average. So I've been trying to figure out ways of doing this in Small World, and I actually found the perfect card that works really well for it. So this card, so the bridge card I've chosen works in terms of like my older text of like being able to search any spellcaster, because the card I'm doing reveal is a spellcaster, but conveniently it has one thing in common with my Apex Avian, which means, so when I saw it, I'm like, okay, this works well. I can search most of my spellcasts with this. I'm like, wait, 2k defense. Apex Avian has 2k defense. This is great. So the card I've chosen as my bridge, guys, is Crusadia Reclusia, which is a fire attribute monster, which nothing in my main deck is. It's level 3. The only level 3s I play are Servant and Magister, neither of which I really want to banish off Small World. But if I open this, it means I can search them if I need to. And then 400 attack. Nothing in my deck's got that. 2k defense. Nothing in my deck has that, except Apex Avian if I put it in, which I probably will. I'll give that a quick test. Could be fun. So, yeah. And the other advantage of Reclusia is is its own built-in effect. Like if I can special summon to a zone and link monster points to, so it acts as an extender. If say I open this card, so it's not completely dead. So pretty useful if anyone was thinking of testing around Small World in any of their Endymion builds. So that's the main thing I've been thinking of in terms of Small World at the moment. What else have I been up to? Other things I've been up to recently is just trying to beat the heat, as it were. Sorry guys. God, this heat talking, killing me. Better. So another thing I've been doing recently is checking out Dark Magician 84's channel. I've been really enjoying his top hated series at the moment. So some of the ones I've checked out of like fusions, synchros, XZs, I'm like, yeah, these are interesting. I'm noticing in some of them, some of the mods that are on the list seem to be there because I've used it against him. So when I'm watching the series and I'm noticing a card that's on there, which is like, oh, I'm probably the one that did that to him. It's making me wonder. Dark Magician's got a lot of monsters in these lists that I've probably put there. I don't know whether to feel offended or whether to feel honored. I'm kind of choosing to feel honored because it's like, at least I'm being recognized for playing something that's actually really good. So yeah. And guys, also guys, as another update, stuff I've been thinking about doing next. So naturally I understand that last week the creator of Yugioh, Kazuki Takahashi, passed away. A lot of us in my gaming community was really upset about it. So one of the things I was thinking of is just doing a small update regarding the history of some of my decks, talking about some of the decks that got me properly into the game competitively. Just do a bit of a flashback through that. And another thing I've been thinking of is, I know Dark Magician's been doing this for quite a while now, and I've kind of been in the position I maybe want to try getting back into doing content again, because since I'm not recording any tournament content much anymore, because it's just too difficult for me, I've been thinking maybe I can start doing a Q&A as well. If any of you would be interested in me starting up a Q&A series, naturally, you can use this video to start posting questions below, and then I can start that off with the first video. But also, if anyone else has got any ideas of something they'd like me to do, leave it down in the comments as well, and I'll figure it out. But anyway, just wanted to give you guys that brief update. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and hopefully I will see you again soon.